All right, everybody, we decided to break out another live stream. We've also got a companion video with screen sharing to this one, streaming at the same time. So whether you're on Twitch viewing the screen or on YouTube, we've got two separate live streams going at the same time. And it's for our streaming for vengeance. I love this idea. I think it's truly brilliant. And we're going to start making this a regular segment on the channel. And we're going to call this the Anychat. And so what we're doing here is we're streaming both to YouTube and to Twitch live. And the title is Livestream/Anychat, Streaming for Vengeance. And it's just a title, folks. We just like to have the word vengeance in the title. We're not really seeking vengeance against anybody or anything like that. It's just so we can stream and talk about whatever we want. So again, if you want to see what's on my screen, head to twitch.tv/smAsho and you'll be able to see what I'm looking at, which currently, for your YouTube viewers, is just an image of the Made in China COVID-19 animation, because we're going to talk about that first for a quick moment. I was going to do a bunch of movie reviews and suggestions, but that's not happening. We're not going to cover any malarkey. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take the YouTube chat and I'm going to keep that on the screen. So if you just bear with me 1 minute, I will grab all of that stuff and get the both chats going so that I can display the chats onto the screen there for Twitch viewers. And we'll be able to see YouTube comments and Twitch comments at the same time. So let me just break out that pop-out chat. And yeah, we're talking about anything here. This is what we call an Anychat format, as there is no agenda here. And again, no malarkey. So first of all, I don't know if you're aware that number one thing, we're going to go in reverse order here. Were you aware that UV radiation and heat kill the coronavirus? Now, what temperatures are required and how much UV and what wavelengths and yada, 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 I'm not exactly sure offhand. I've been getting gaslit all over the internet because I'm going out on a limb and I'm telling people how to be safer and how to be, how to cure yourself without relying on anybody at all and not worrying about going to hospitals. They kill you in those places, I used to actually work in a hospital, and so I know all the procedures about how, hospitals behave. And listen, there is ample reason to not want hospitals to be overloaded. So I get it. And I'm not trying to be flippant about all the social media posts that you may or may not see all around the web. And I cannot find where this chat is once again. YouTube has to change their software every 5 seconds. And I have no idea where the chat is. It's a delight. So I'm trying to find it here. I'm viewing the video, but I can't see comments because, again, the platform is so bad. So once again, if you're viewing, just view it on Twitch. You're going to see me down there in the bottom corner. See that? That's good stuff. That's what you want. You should be on twitch.tv/smAsho so you can see what's going on the screen. And viewing the Anychat companion screen share. So and we do this on purpose because of the way the content has been handled or not handled on YouTube. So anyway, the point is UV radiation and heat kill COVID-19. No, they kill COVID-19. Okay? So you may want to inform your friends. You may want to inform your foes. Personally, if I'm fighting somebody, I don't want them to have COVID-19 either, particularly as they might cough on me. So tell your friends and your foes so that even the least informed idiot knows. And perhaps check out smAsho.com/forum, because it's not rocket science, folks. It's actually more complex than that. Rocket science is calculating parabolas, not trying to figure out human behavior. So this is why we made this morning's thumbnail for this morning's space weather video this. And we are getting gaslit on the internet because we're telling people that UV radiation and heat kills viruses. So that's how pathetic the coverage is. The censorship is just running rampant right now across the whole internet. We're even seeing evidence of like actual systemic censorship. So I'm not even sure how that could even be facilitated. And by the way, I'm going to be installing Ubuntu. If you're not familiar with that, check this out. If you just head to Ubuntu, I don't know if it's .com or, yeah, ubuntu.com, you can download free software, which besides problems with hardware, which may make your system still not secure, if you run Ubuntu, hardware problems aside, your system will be properly secure and you'll be able to use your computer for most of the stuff that you use it for. If you're using it for exhaustive video production and things like that, it's not going to work that well for that, but it's going to work just fine for most of the stuff you do. And I haven't tested out the latest Windows emulations for Ubuntu, but I've been very impressed. You can even burn a boot disk, just create a bootable disk from it, an ISO file, and tell your computer to boot from your disk drive, and you will be amazed at the way you can resurrect old PCs using Ubuntu. So if you're paranoid about stuff like Microsoft is spying on you and the government, the man can see everything you do, man, it's really scary, just install Ubuntu, encrypt your stuff, and like you can have secure stuff. I mean, if it's 128-bit encryption, anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but try it out if you haven't. If you've got an old PC sitting around that you'd like to resurrect, maybe you'd like to play LAN games inside your house and you know, run an old PC. So anyway, we're just here at smAsho.com/forum in the free-for-all forum talking about the coronavirus section. We've been covering this since January 23rd from all kinds of different perspectives, whether it's economic perspectives or public health perspectives or geopolitical perspectives. It's very difficult to get people to understand any information that they're not already complete sheeple and just believing for whatever, you know. It's very hard to convince anybody of much of anything, folks. And I had to step into the bunker and just do a live stream and just talk about this for a moment, because the economic ramifications of this are by far the most significant. So when we look at the market technicals, we look at the performance of bonds, US currency with respect to other currencies, the performance of precious metals, and the performance of stocks. Mainly those things, also cryptocurrency a little bit, although I'm not a believer in crypto. I don't believe there's any actual store of value there. I think all of the problems I just discussed regarding encryption already apply to cryptocurrency. So while it might be a way to hide from fiat currency in one way, it doesn't look very stable and it's not able to be used as a currency. So it is no sort of paradigm of much of anything. It's a speculative investment. And if you've never heard of the Dutch tulips, read about Dutch tulips. And there's some interesting economic lessons perhaps to be learned regarding speculative investments when it comes to the Dutch tulips. So if you're not familiar with that, also moderate your exercise. If you're one of these people that constantly has to work out until failure, chill out a little bit, because overdoing it, as I'm sure most cyclists out there, please back me up in the comments, will agree, um, overdoing it depletes your immune system. You're much more likely to get sick after running a marathon, and more so after an ultra marathon. And, you know, reduce your bike ride of 100 miles to 20 miles if you're worried about being in a prone zone and stuff like that. Also, if your immune system is already depleted, you're in a much completely magnitudinally different risk category than everybody who is, got a normal immune system, whatever normal might be. There is something that means normal, but who knows what it means nowadays? People are on so many weird drugs. People are on so many weird bad diets. People are exposed to so many pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, bad drugs that have side effects, bad drugs that they don't need, not enough exercise, too much exercise. So it's you, you're trying to put your fingers in a dike with a Niagara Falls worth of water trying to come through the dike. Remember what Tony Montana was talking about when he's like, put your fingers in a dike. It's the only place he can get his fingers, man. It's a dike. I guess you're like real mad about it. He's sitting in the bathtub. And there was no pandemic happening in Miami when that occurred, except for a cocaine pandemic. Were you aware that there are a bunch of uncensored articles buried in Minecraft? Yeah, it's true. We won't get into that. I put it in the COVID-19 section just because censorship has been the name of the game. So the article we put up before that one, this one is about what the U.S. will do. And this is a Zero Hedge article that was picked up there, originally posted at Newsweek, courtesy of William Arkin. And that story is about what the contingencies are and what happens if the government gets crippled. I don't think Ubuntu has any Amazon spyware, Sui, but I think Twitch might be affiliated with Amazon. I'm not fully sure on that, but I think Ubuntu very much lacks said spyware. You can certainly tie your computer off from the internet still while using it while on Ubuntu. So there's a great channel on BitChute called Switched to Linux. Perhaps check that out. Maybe he has got some videos about that. Just the title of his video being called Switched to Linux is significant. He probably knows what it is. Maybe he uses a different version. But I remember all the way back in the late 90s, there was a company called Red Hat that was trying to kind of be the Linux version of Windows, and it didn't really work out too much. So one of the earliest posts we put up this morning was just before 6 a.m., and it was about how where I currently am located, there's some interventionism going on. So I'll just read part of the article here. Governor Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania has offered Pennsylvania a sense of reasoning behind what he calls non-life sustaining businesses to close. In other words, if you're not a life-sustaining business, whatever he deems that as, you're required to close at 8 o'clock as of this morning. So it's now 3:17 p.m. And anyway, here's a quote from Governor Wolf, Democrat scumbag. "I've worked to be responsive and flexible so that businesses can apply for a waiver," and about 10,000 of those were filed at Harrisburg, by the way, "to keep their physical locations open if they perform life-sustaining work," as if this portion of the economy is life-sustaining and this portion of the economy is not life-sustaining. It's just a fundamental misunderstanding of what the economy is. So I suggest that Governor Wolf is unqualified to do his own job, as I've heard so much recently in the media, right? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say anything about peaches or pears or plums, but I am going to say, "Thou shalt see the light." I'm hoping, and not necessarily listen to complete lies on the internet, especially ones about me spreading lies on the internet, because that makes me extremely pissed off. And I don't know if you're aware, we don't delete people's comments. We make them make complete asses out of. We allow them. We give them the opportunity to make total asses of themselves on our channel, and that's perfectly fine. Wolf said, and by the way, there's lawsuits pending, and there's probably going to be thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of them, of all different varieties, against the governor himself and any government that attempts to enforce these laws, which aren't even part of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Act, by the way. Wolf said a team of about 50 state employees were busy sorting through 10,000 waiver requests. Here's another quote from Wolf. The idea of police going out to make sure we had full compliance is something I think is really important. So not only is he saying close, he's saying, hey, state troopers, make sure you go out there and make sure folks are closed, otherwise, or else. And I don't know what the or else is. So apparently there's going to be some sort of a sanction. I don't know how they're going to cite anybody without a law. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't seen the carnage today. I just stayed in the bunker all day because frankly, I don't care what's going on out there. I can survive probably, I don't know, maybe decades. So anyway, now I'm in a interesting portion of Pennsylvania here. For you new viewers who've never seen the channel before, I'm located in Lehigh Valley, and I just can't imagine a state trooper knocking on the door of I don't know, your bakery and saying, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to close." And you're like, "What do you mean? I can't close my bakery. It's life-sustaining. People come here to buy their rolls. And I might starve if I can't afford to pay my own bills." So I don't know what this is going to be. We see, I believe there's National Guard deployed both in Jersey and New York. So yeah, it's there are a lot of scenarios playing out, and if you don't have the correct sort of bunker, then it'll be fine. The supply chain has still not broken down. I mean, there's still food. All the places that are out of food are like 2 days behind having their food restocked. So the supply chain doesn't see any problems. There's things shifting around because now restaurants are giving away food because they're worried about closing, and wholesalers are having walk-in consumers purchase whole truckloads of food, which they may or may not be able to use. And this is the sort of effects you have when you start imposing controls over people's behavior. So it's super interesting, but it's super not so good, especially when there's no indication of how long it will last. So for instance, there's a local place that sells burgers and fries and hot dogs and cheesesteaks and stuff like that. And I gave them a call yesterday, and I said, look, I'm not trying to order anything right now, but you guys are still open, right? And you can't dine in, but I believe they'll bring the food out to you. So you call it in, and then you go there, and then they bring the food out. So yeah, they said they're not closing. So I mean, and restaurants are considered essential businesses, as some people don't know how to cook or just don't cook, or for whatever reason. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, don't gaslight me and suggest that I'm spreading lies on the internet, as this is an ultra comprehensive forum about the current pandemic. And you know, really ultimately the effects on people are going to be, I'm not gonna even conjecture, because there's a little too much nonsense going on right now. So anyway, we've made this companion video, and I've displayed most of the stuff that I've been looking at. Let me give you a quick quote on silver, and it's all the way up over $13 an ounce now. So it was at something like $12.60 an ounce this morning, and now it is rising. So this could be an indication of money flooding out of the dollar. Let me just check the markets here. Have bonds been purchased again? Let's see. Yep, bonds are being heavily purchased. So yeah, silver prices rising. And I don't know if you're viewing this someplace besides YouTube. Um, let's look at crypto real quick. So anyway, on YouTube, you're able to see just my smiling face, and on Twitch, you're able to see the screen, and I'm just showing the Coinbase chart for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has just gone up $400. Yeah, Bitcoin is currently up $414.25 a coin to $6,273. Ethereum on the same exchange, the Coinbase exchange. And be careful with the volume information, folks, if you know what that means. Volume information, number of coins traded throughout the day, or normally if it's a stock, number of shares. Thanks for leaving comments, everybody. Let me get to those since I can't get the pop-out chat to work. It's a mystery how YouTube writes their code. All right. The population's already going nuts. They're not believing basic facts. They're just, people are like, they think we have to wait 24 months or something for a vaccine to come out. It's insanity. There are all kinds, like virus. Here's the thing about viruses, folks. Viruses are very susceptible to all kinds of physical damage. They can't hold up. When people tell you that COVID-19, the coronavirus that causes it, when people tell you that that thing can survive on surfaces for days, we're not talking about surfaces in the sun at 90 degrees. It doesn't survive in scenarios like that. So anyway, no, that's Bitcoin Cash. I clicked on the wrong thing. I apologize. Ethereum on Coinbase, that's up $7 also. So there's a crypto update for you. Ethereum, so silver's up. And so it's at the same time now as we see buying in U.S. Treasury bonds. An indication, as to quote Peter Schiff just said a few minutes ago on his live birthday podcast, he said, the reason that people are buying U.S. bonds is because all central banks are irresponsible, but because the U.S. dollar is the lender of choice around the world, the place that people look to hide in treasury bonds is U.S. treasuries. So the U.S. is still extremely irresponsible in terms of its monetary policy. Hello, it's called the Federal Reserve. In Europe, the European Central Bank is slightly worse. The Bank of Japan's worse than that. So you've got very low interest rates, and now people are asking for helicopter money. Now, helicopter money was supposed to be a term of exaggeration to make the point of money falling from the sky, but that's a real thing that people really think is smart and are really campaigning for currently. Anyway, I'm just going to scroll down. The Dow's only down 828 points right now, or 4.32%. Make it 4.33%. And centralized banking creates a hidden tax on everybody, causing it, called inflation. Everybody holding dollars has to pay that tax. And legal tender laws ensure that you're forced to. So in times like this, folks, don't go around telling people that you demand payment in silver or in crypto, because that's a crime in the US. Legal tender laws could have folks calling the FBI on you if you say that. And you can see the bonds are extremely low, and inflation adjusted, these are probably at negative rates at this point. So oil has come up a little bit. So oil's gone up 70 cents. Probably a good sign, actually. Maybe it's reached its bottom. It was at about $22 a barrel this morning. So there's that. I mean, there's the oil, there's the gold, up $76 an ounce, and silver up 79 cents an ounce. Wheat has jumped up massively, $22 a bushel. Check it out. So there's an increase in your food prices right there. And that is based on an expected increase in the food price. We didn't see it happen last spring when there were terrible plantings. If you look at the 5-year chart, the spring before that, we did see a pretty big up spike in the spring of 2018, but not in the spring of 2019. It made no sense. And let's don't conjecture about it. as I've been gaslit enough on the internet for a whole year in the past 3 days by trying to share vital life-saving information with all kinds of people who want to know what idiotic professors can vouch for my degree, which I don't have. I do not have a degree, nor do I want one. So anyway, the Dow, there's the Dow, the NASDAQ. European markets are all down. Let's look at currencies. Okay, so the yen is down relative to the U.S. dollar, and the U.S. dollar is now down. So it looks like there's some actual weakness in the U.S. currency as a result of all that bond buying, and that's what you expect. Silver goes up at the same time, so that now the market's starting to look a little more normal again. And I'll tell you, up until about a month ago, the market was doing stuff that made no sense. There were no appropriate correlations between the stock market going down and bonds going up, or the stock market going down and precious metals going up. Everything was completely upside down. So, I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. It looked like money was sloshing around in there, and the only organizations that are able to do that are 1, governments, nation states, 2, large corporations, and 3, institutional investors. That's the only way that can happen. And the volatility was driven up entirely on purpose, I think. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing that can be done. If everybody freaks out at the same time, or if institutional investors decide they want to engineer a crash, it can be done. I'm not saying it was done. It can be done. Macy's down 19% today, Kohl's. So the retailers are all getting hammered as I don't know, is there a nationwide shutdown? Is there something I missed? Macy's down. Federated Department Stores, I thought it was. Apparently Macy's is its own company now. Down to $4.87. So please leave a comment if you think Macy's is going to close. And thanks everybody for leaving comments on Twitch. Thanks for tuning in over there. All right, just give me one moment here, YouTubers. I need to read the Twitch comments. Terrence, I actually had PTO today because the government was trying to fine me because it doesn't know the difference between hedges and weeds. So I took PTO today, and then the court canceled. So yeah, I'm still being harassed about hedges, which some scum-sucking, bottom-feeding bureaucrat claimed were weeds. He wanted me to cut down 50 feet and clear cut it, changing the entire way the frontage looks. And then his colleague later showed up and sent a letter to trim the hedges. So they look like idiots. And what a surprise, government bureaucrats looking like complete failures who don't know jack shit. All right, so anyway, yes, everything gets misnamed, Sui. That's a thing. No National Guard, okay, not to worry. By the way, I'm not worried if the Pennsylvania National Guard gets deployed, as the Pennsylvania National Guard is one of the most elite military units on earth, going all the way back to the Revolutionary War. The Minutemen that come out of Pennsylvania aren't scared of you, and you shouldn't be scared of them either, because they're pretty benevolent, even if they answer to Tom Wolfe. All right, so because those guys do take an oath to hold up the Constitution, and most of them will hold up the Constitution when it comes down to a real crisis. Believe it or not, folks. Believe it or not, Smash is in the bunker. I never told you how much silver costs. Getting gaslit on the internet by total nabs who know nothing about what they're talking. All right, so I think it's about time to close this thing out, as I've got 10 pounds of chicken wings to make. I'm only making half of them, but the air fryer is going to be heavily employed. And if you haven't seen the latest Instagram video, I hope you're watching on Twitch, because you're not going to see this epic video if you're watching on YouTube. It's currently on twitch.tv/smashamash. You'll be able to hear the audio, I think, but you won't be able to see the video.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Just hanging out around the house here, enjoying my day off. You know, some PTO, good times. So I just wondered what you're doing. Are you located in Pennsylvania? Or are you having a delightful day? Yeah, leave a comment and let us know what you're up to today. If you're just having a normal old everyday day like me, or if you're like doing something exciting today. Cheers. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. So anyway, folks, I hope you
Hey
see the light.
everybody, how's it going?
I'm going to close
Just
this
hanging
thing
out
out,
around.
and Instagram videos just play repeatedly. And yeah, we're gonna try to make another video. I'm not sure if today, it could be in the middle of the night. Who knows? It might be about movie reviews and suggestions, as people are holed up in their homes, trying to see the light, and it's not a gas powered one. So anyway, it is about time to get the heck out of here. Thanks for tuning in, whichever location you viewed it on. Head to smashamash.com/forums, free for all forum, if you want to read the now 15-page thread about otherwise known as COVID-19, something that'll have you going, oh my God, maybe. And yeah, hopefully don't have a bad reaction to it. And you know, rest, but not too much, and stay well, stay nourished. We'll be talking to you soon. And remember, don't accept any wooden nickels.